Hi, Miriam.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi, Henry.
how's it going?
I can't hear you.
Uh,
No, now
Yeah.
I can hear you.
how's it going?
Going okay.
I'm wondering if we should be talking about this at all today, although everybody's read the note.
I would prefer that we not talk about it.
Yeah,
I'm not prepared to talk about it.
yeah. This is a matter for the select board,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. Hmm.
Let me see. The CPC meeting was canceled for today.
Oh, was?
Yes.
How come?
Well, Alan's all over the map with this. Apparently can't nail down a date for some reason.
Because aren't they kind of up against now the deadlines and
Yep. He's hoping to meet on the 29th.
The Concom is proposing an application.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So we're working on an application for some conservation land.
Mhm.
That property near where you live? Well, I don't know where you live on. What road are you on?
Oh, I'm on Baker, but it's around the corner on Pelham Hill.
Yeah, you know the property, yeah.
I do, I think. Yeah, we got Greg saying here, I can't find the agenda Zoom link for tonight's meeting. Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, you could just go to the town website.
I know, just go to the calendar, right?
Right. That's what people should be doing.
Yep. Okay.
It's a lot to be holding everybody's hand around this. People should just know how to get to the agenda.
Yeah.
Because if there's update, it can send out the agenda, but if there's updates to the agenda in the meantime, they might not have the most recent one anyway.
Mhm. I'll hold his hand and send him the link to the calendar. He doesn't.
That's nice. Oh, that reminds me, there was another thing I was going to share at the commission. Oh, let me find it. Whoops. Ugh. Know anybody who wants a cat?
No, not me, that's for sure. No cat.
Wants a cat?
Not a cat person here.
Well, I guess I'm adopting a fourth cat. So that makes me legitimately a cat lady.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, we got people waiting.
Hello.
Hello, Karen.
Yes.
Howdy doody.
Finally, I got a hold of you.
Oh, good to see you. Good to hear you.
Thank you.
Greg, I see you got the link there. I just sent it to you in case.
You just gave me what?
Oh, no, I was talking to Greg.
Hi,
Oh,
meeting's just started, but that's fine. Sorry. That's okay. Totally
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, the link is usually
Uh,
on the calendar.
I should be here, audible.
Yep.
is Marion in touch?
Mary Lou, haven't heard from
No,
her.
Miriam.
Miriam is here.
She's on the call.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. Have you started?
No,
No.
no. That's correct, right? A bit more light. Be good. Hey,
Is Giselle coming tonight, Henry?
I don't know. She was talking about visiting her West Texas roots at some point. Could be right now. And who else? Do we have a quorum, by the way? One, two,
You do?
yes, we do.
a quorum +1, is that correct?
Okay. Well, it's just we get started. 6 minutes in. So let's have a look at the
Agenda. Ugh,
uh,
there's a lot of stuff on that agenda.
yeah. Well, a lot of the stuff is in progress. Let's put it that way. Let's see here.
Should we do the minutes, Henry? We have a lot of minutes to go through.
Yeah, why don't we do
Oh,
that?
sorry, that's the select board I'm looking at there, so agenda, so good.
Yeah. Why don't we? I'm just.
Yeah.
Is there any public comment? No. And our. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
I'm on the wrong. This is weird. I must have picked the wrong meeting here.
We got here somehow.
Well, we have 4 meeting agenda minutes, not agenda, 4 sets of minutes to
Right.
go through. So
That's certainly on the agenda.
You have a copy of that on you.
the first one is April 28th, which Janice and I figured out never was approved. I had circulated it back in May. So everybody, I think we circulated it again. I know it's sort of jogging everybody's memory. But do we have any comments about those minutes?
Not from me.
I don't remember that date. What's the date again?
April 28th.
Oh, yes, April 28th.
I've got them all lined up here across my 3 screens.
That's good.
No. So it's missing minutes for that date.
So no comments. It looks like, was everybody here? Let me look at who was at that meeting. So Henry, Greg, Mary Lou, and I were there. So Karen, you can't vote on this. So I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. I'll say, let's go around.
What date is that?
April 28th.
April 28th.
Oh, way back then?
Yeah. Karen, you weren't at that meeting, so you can't vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to round. So first one up would be Greg Carlton,
Aye.
Miriam Defont,
Aye.
Enriqueta's aye, and Janet Stone.
Aye.
Okay. And we can close.
Okay. What,
Next one is July 1,
July 1, yeah.
correct?
No, I don't think we're doing July 1.
No?
July 1.
Oh, sorry, that's annual report. Yep, we've got it up twice.
I'm sorry. I thought we were doing then October 19th.
October 19th, correct, yes. I had the same document open twice.
This is the working group. Wasn't one of our regular meetings. No changes.
No.
No,
Okay. And Karen, I don't know if you were at that meeting. I don't think you were, but I
I
couldn't
don't
remember.
think I was either. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But I did ask about the stone ceremony and stones. Has that been settled?
we should get to that after we approve these minutes, maybe. Is that a good idea? Approve the minutes and then
And dissolve the CSL?
We're just doing the minutes right now. And we can talk about that after, Karen.
Sure.
Well, that's what the last of this was. Most of it says motion. You move to dissolve the CSL working group.
No, that was from the April minutes that we just approved.
Oh,
we're
well, is that dissolved?
Yeah, we dissolved it because that was just, the working group was really just to work on the draft of the report that we approved. So we haven't stopped working on that as a project. We just don't have a working group for it.
Oh,
the technicality. So we're up to the October 19 minutes, right?
Mhm. Okay, I move that we approve the October 19th minutes.
Second.
Henry, good.
Oh. Gorons, Greg Colton,
Aye.
Miriam Defont.
Aye.
Henry Geddes, aye. Janice Stone,
Janice, were you at that meeting?
were you?
Not a good. No, she was absent according to the minutes.
I don't think
Correct.
so.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
All right, so it's a 3.
That's carried.
No.
No, sorry. Yeah.
I think that because it wasn't a regular meeting, it was a working group. I think we're okay with the not having 4 votes.
Hmm.
Although I'm not absolutely sure about that. Maybe we need to postpone approving that.
What about the next one?
So let's postpone.
We've got plenty of people there.
1027.
2, 3, 4. There's 5 people here tonight who were at the 1027 meeting, so we can approve that one.
Yes.
Then 1027. I got 1019.
Should also have 1027.
Is that a question, Karen?
What? What are the notes? 101921.
No, we're gonna postpone vote on that just to be sure we have a quorum.
You're going to postpone the one before it?
No, we voted on that one. 428. We had
That's the first one I have.
yeah we have a quorum for that. We did vote to approve those. So we're up to 1027 at the moment.
Well, find it.
Anybody else have any revisions?
No.
Karen, are we ready for a vote or do you need some more time?
I'm trying to look for the minutes
Minutes?
we're looking for. I guess I don't have that one.
Oh, geez.
Well, we've still got enough for a vote, I believe, haven't we?
We do have enough. So Karen would have to abstain.
Okay,
So I'll a motion to approve.
The draft minutes of 10:27.
Yes. Second.
Second?
Okay, going around, Greg Carlton,
Yes, sir. Aye.
Miriam Defont,
Aye.
Henry Geddes, aye. Was Karen voting on this? Sorry.
No.
No, because
I
she's,
abstain.
No, right.
Janice?
Janice Stone.
Aye.
Okay.
Hey, close that one.
All right. And
And then there's the minutes for November the 1st.
Yeah, I have that one,
Good.
but
so
I wasn't there.
you weren't there. So we 1, 2,
Got 4.
we have 4.
Yeah.
Any
So,
revisions?
not that I can see.
No.
move to approve minutes for what is it again now? It's
November 1.
November 1. You're a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Going around the room. Oh, Karen, were you there?
No,
Okay.
No.
Greg Carlton,
Yay.
Miriam Defont,
Aye.
Henry Geddes, aye. Janice Stone.
Aye.
Okay.
That's good. Close that document.
So we can move on to ongoing projects.
Yes.
Grant opportunities for repairing guideposts on town common.
So when we met last time, Janice, you were gonna
Yep.
look at
Mm,
possible costs of doing that repair work. Have you had a chance to look at that?
No, well, I got a little buried for a while in the minutes instead. So I've been juggling things. So no, I did get a name from, I think from you, Miriam, and maybe also from Greg, and then I had one. So I'm gonna just look through the old emails unless people remember offhand
Yeah,
who they were. Huh?
One was John Moore. but
Okay.
I think I might have texted or emailed his phone number.
Okay, I think you emailed, so I'll check in your emails. Okay.
He's either a Leverett or Shutesbury resident. I'm not quite sure.
And
which.
did I give you Joe Latour?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah, he's done some exterior painting for us. I mean, he would not be somebody who could do the lettering.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
remember we talked about you maybe reaching out to Becca to see if. Becca-
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Do you want
And
me to- do you want
I
me to
need
do that?
it involves having to write up a I have one somewhere that I already did. You have to have sort of a standard services, what description of what you want done on there. I don't think I've done that for the guidepost. I did it for the war memorial, and I was hoping that whoever did one would do the other, but the person who said repeatedly that he would do it never got to it in the last year and a half.
It's a bit of a moot point because it's not going to happen over winter, is it?
No, but it'd be nice to get it lined up
Yes.
to try
Janice,
to.
can you send me that standard description that you used for the shrub grant?
Yes, yeah, for the war memorial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just so I can see what it was.
Yeah.
So I'll reach out I'll reach
Okay.
out to Becca.
Okay.
And what my thought about it was in terms of funding is that we could put together a proposal for the CPA to get funding for it if we, because I think this would meet the eligibility requirements and it wouldn't be very expensive. And I think
Yeah.
it would readily be approved by the town. So
Yeah.
do you have some sense of like, what do you think is the right amount for a proposal, Janice?
I'm not sure. I know that people, some local people have done the painting and lettering before, but it really needs some scraping and everything too. At this point, it's peeling, especially on some sides. The War Memorial was going to be for just painting the War Memorial, which is what, 3 sides, 4 sides, something like that. That was going to be a little under $1,000. I wouldn't think that the guide post would be more. The painting would be easier, but the lettering would take longer. I'm not sure, but you know, something along that. I don't think anyone has been paid to do it for a while, but the lettering is getting pretty, I don't know.
Well, I'll ask Becca and, you know, if we could get some photos taken of it, maybe we could,
I do have photos. I've done
Okay.
all the photos.
you
Okay.
want to send me photos?
Sure. Yep. And I do have the contact information for the person who did the guide board in Montague Center. And I did contact him last year about doing the War Memorial. And he said, no, they weren't interested or something. So I don't know if he did one guidepost and decided this is enough. It's way too, you know, finicky or something. Yeah. And not do anymore if it was just the timing that he was busy. But this is during the COVID when things were quiet, not when they've started coming back up again. But I'll send you that too, and you can at least check in with him and see if it's changed. They did a nice job on the one at Montague Center.
So you're thinking that this would not cost more than 1,000, or do you think it needs to be because the lettering, there's so much lettering?
I think maybe, I'm just guessing that maybe equivalent, it could be about 1,000. I really don't know though. I have no idea. I haven't gotten anyone to say anything yet. So
So, you know, we have, the deadline is December 10th for a proposal. This isn't just for an application of eligibility. I mean, I could put that together.
okay.
We need to approve it, however, so we're gonna need to have a meeting. We need a meeting between now and then, maybe a short meeting. We can agree to pursue it right now, but I think we still have to vote on the final proposal, so maybe you and I can work together in the next week or so on this. It shouldn't take that
Yeah.
long, right?
I don't think so. And I was just thinking, I did get the contact information from the Montague Historical Commission / Society. It's basically the same guy. And so I don't think, I'll check my notes whether they gave me a cost of what they paid for theirs. They only have lettering on 2 sides, but it's still, otherwise it's the same type, and it might at least give us an idea on that. So I'll check
Yeah.
on that.
Okay. How do you guys feel? How does everybody feel about doing that?
Well, how else can we get it done?
Yeah.
It really needs doing. It's getting really bad.
No.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think of the things that we do for Historical Commission for the town, this is a small one that would be nicely visible and,
Exactly,
you know,
yes.
appreciated.
Great. Let's do it.
I don't think we need to vote on this, right?
No, I think we just look at the proposal. So
Okay.
I will try to get this drafted, and then we'll need to have a short meeting sometime the first week in December or right before the 10th to review it.
Okay.
All right, moving, anything else on that topic? um, the Southbrook Conservation. I did check it out. I must say, I could not find the pink flags, and
Oh, bummer.
I entered at a different point I went down to the dock and entered from that
Yeah.
end, but I could not find it. I assume that the pink slips are still up there. Flagging is still up there, but I'll try it again.
Well,
Oh.
what I did learn was that the guy who had proposed this is not doing it for, not going forward this funding cycle.
Thank goodness.
Well,
Uh,
so that means we don't necessarily. I've got my finally got the GPS synced on my iPhone,
All right.
so it'll work if we need it.
Well, you know, they're still doing the road work and they're doing the mapping right now for the Southbrook, for that CPA project. So we still need to know if there's any areas that we're concerned about where the roads are, where the trails are.
Mhm.
Well, get on the phone, please.
Have thought about going out and taking photographs of where there's wetlands and then trying to share that information. I mean, it's pretty obvious where there's wetlands and there's
Yes.
a bunch of crossings and they're gonna need
Yes.
to armor those trails where there's a wetland crossing.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know that there's any spots where they really need to route around a CSL. There are stone features on the property.
There are. I was just wading through it, and yeah, it was interesting.
Did you guys see that when you went out, that area where there's this big concave kind of hollowed out area with a bunch of rock piles or of boulders in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, but
On the right-hand side, before you go to that section where the road goes down the steep bank.
yeah, I suspect that was kind of a quarry where somebody dug that out.
Need some help with this. I can't seem to budget.
Karen, are you having a problem?
Just here at the house. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I just ran across some very interesting stones lying about. I mean, they could be naturally formed, but they look like there's human intervention.
I'll put it
I
down
did
for
I did take photographs. This is on the north side of the property.
Are you gonna give those to Eva?
Yep.
Okay.
But I'm committed to going out there again. It's not, I enjoy going out there. Last time I went out with some friends and we just didn't find the flags. Well, I'll try it again.
It's possible he took it down. I didn't know that he did. I contacted him about a week ago.
By the way, I saw a what is it called now? This four-wheeler
Yeah, ATV.
ATV going through the property.
Oh,
And that's one
So
reason
upset.
that we decided not to go back on the trail, because it was fumes galore. It was like,
oh,
It's
Yeah.
awful. When I was out there this last weekend and we saw the tracks from four-wheelers, it's just they're tearing that property up.
yeah, it's a kid. It's just a kid, but
Yeah.
my sense is that, if you look at near the docking area, there's a sign.
What do you mean by the docking area?
There's a place where the boats are.
Ramp?
There's a ramp.
Okay.
Yes. There's a sign in black and white. It's very clear. It says no motorized vehicles, and then in the fine print below it, it says snowmobiles accepted.
Okay, that's my sign
That is your sign.
and I have to take it down. I've been
Yeah,
told I've been told by town council and the select board to remove it. So I haven't gone out there to remove it, but I have to remove it.
okay. Well, I don't really need to know much more, except that I just figured local folks have, in a sense, appropriated that as part of their domain. It's their use. They're the ones who use it, and that may
too
be
bad. They shouldn't be. Not if it's
Yeah,
motorized vehicles. It's
I
just
know.
wrong.
I know, but it runs into this whole idea of what people are, accustomed to doing, and
Mhm.
suddenly you're telling them you can't.
Yeah, but we've always done it.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, they didn't always have
Yeah.
four-wheelers. So
No.
that is true. Yes. Anyway, so I will go back out there and check it out.
Henry, were you gonna send a letter to the Concom?
Yes, I sent you just a memo to that effect. Do you want a formal?
No, I mean, if you want, for example, if we wanted to go out and do a site visit with the person who's doing the mapping or with Penny Jakes so that we could identify areas we're concerned about, we could do that.
Yep. So just a short memo, which is what I wrote, was that we'd like to know, be updated as far as what happens.
But if we want to be more proactive, that we want to give them feedback about where they want to,
Okay.
what work they want to do before they do the work, we need to tell them that.
Okay, be more explicit then.
Well, if you wanted, for example, to do a site visit with them to show them,
Yeah.
or if we want to share a map with them,
Sure.
with flagged areas that we're concerned about,
Sure.
we need to tell them that we're going to do that and ask that they hold off on doing any trail work
Mhm.
until
That's been sorted out. Yeah. 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 By the way, as long as we're talking about money, I assume we're not going to be presenting a proposal this time. Proposals are due to the CPC, the what is it now? The
Community Preservation Committee.
the community preservation, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And but nevertheless there's a meeting tonight after all. I thought it was canceled. It was canceled as of last Friday, I think. But there is a meeting tonight. Are there any ideas?
we just talked about a proposal, Henry, about the war memorial or the guidepost.
Guidepost.
Guideposts. Okay, that would fall under for them, yes.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think that any of the things that we're trying to do with the collection in Old Town Hall
No,
meet the criteria at this point.
right.
But it could be that in the future we want to apply, but it sounded like Tom Doyle was saying there are other funding sources we can get.
Yes, that's what he said. Yes.
So there are some other grant, I mean, that's kind of moving on to the next topic. Should we do
Yeah.
that?
Sure, let's do it.
I did get an email from Tom.
Yep.
Did you were you CC'd on that? I can't remember.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I got it, and
With this, the
It's-
one I just got a couple days ago?
yes, and
Okay.
it's very good. It's helpful. It's not anything I think radically new.
Okay,
Is an example of a database there, which this is basically what we would have done, but that's good to see.
Mhm.
And it's really down to Leslie and I getting together up there and doing the work. And hopefully after Thanksgiving, my schedule will free up. I haven't spoken to hers. And we'll just get started in that.
okay. It's gonna be cold.
That's a point. I can
Like very narrow
I
window
can
of
pick a
time where.
space heater up there.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I don't know about the electrical wiring.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so yes, there's nothing really to say to report on that project.
There were a couple of grant opportunities that might be available for us to apply for in the winter, in January or February.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to work on a grant application to get funding, possibly to hire somebody to assist, or if there's things we want to replace, we want to get file cabinets, supplies. There's some grants that are just small grants, like $1,000 to $1,000.
Mhm.
So if we wanted to get updated storage materials.
That would potentially be good because plastic
So
box is actually useful.
Greg, could you maybe, well, one of the things you already gave us like the linear feet, right? Or you haven't done that yet?
That's what we haven't done. We've started, but we haven't got it for you.
So when you go out there, could you maybe take some notes
Make
about
a shopping list.
a shopping list, right, of
Okay.
what
Yep.
needs to be replaced or what would fit in that space? And let's,
Yes.
if we can come up with a budget,
Yep.
then I could apply for one of these these little quick grants to cover those supplies.
Okay.
Did you check with Leslie? Because I know at one point she had a bunch of supplies of certain kinds, so I don't know which
Yeah.
ones you're looking for or
I'll check
whatever.
with Leslie. Yes, I won't go ahead with that without her.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe the goal would be in January, try to submit a grant application. That sounds good.
Moving right along. Old Town Hall SHC collection archiving. I
I
guess
think that's what we're just.
That's what we're just talking
just
about. Yeah.
covered that. Annual report.
Which,
Yeah,
yes.
so,
Does
and
that-
one of the things that is a problem with the annual report is that we've got some missing minutes from this fiscal year, and Janice, Henry, have you,
I looked at it. You sent me more material. But yeah,
were you gonna follow up with Grace about getting the recordings? Because I can't do the minutes. I can't recreate minutes unless I get the recordings.
sure. I will get in touch
I
with her.
requested it, a few days ago and haven't, it's just if I'm gonna try to recreate new minutes, I really need.
Yeah, and
Time.
what about the possibility? Because how many dates are we looking at that we're? I'm wondering if there might be a way of supporting secretarial work here. I'm willing to do whatever, transcription, listening to see what's going on with a particular set of minutes.
Oh, are you? Well, Henry, I didn't know that.
But
I am all in favor of that idea.
anyone else would like to help out, then.
I would love that. Oh, wait, here's my notes. I'm sorry, everything's falling. All right, so what we are missing currently, there's the July 20th, 2020, March 19th, March 24th, and May 26th.
all of which year?
What?
All of 2021?
Well, July
July.
20th, 2020.
So, yeah.
And then there's these 1, 2, 3 dates in 2021.
Right. Okay. So I thought you meant.
So yes, if you could get the recordings from Grace.
Wait. Before you, yeah. March 9th, July 20th, 2020, March 19th, March 24th?
Yes, of 2021,
Yes. And there's another one.
May 26th.
May? Okay.
The other date that was in question is August 27th, 2020. I wasn't on the commission then. Janice doesn't have any notes, and Janice thinks maybe the meeting didn't happen. I asked Grace if there was a recording and she didn't get back to me. So, yeah, I need these. We need to know. I don't even know if they were doing recordings by Zoom at that point. Were they? I bet they weren't.
Let's see, actually, I've got an email from August 24th. Is that the day or what day? And I have a note on it, could not get into the meeting except after agreeing to cancel the meeting, already in session. Then I got kicked out again, already said to cancel my existing motion. So, and it happened from the first sign on in. So we were having technical
Yes.
difficulties
Mm.
that night.
All
on the
right.
24th or 20, let's see, 27th, maybe. I didn't date that, but it was for both.
Can you hold on?
Maybe,
I've just lost, can you guys hold on? I lost my, I just lost my minutes for tonight. Hang on. Cause I'm switching screens and all of a sudden it disappeared on me. Let me see if I can find it. I have the annual report. That's not what I want. One sec. Sorry.
so it looks like maybe the 24th got canceled because of the Zoom problem. And then it was moved to the 27th,
Wait, 24th of the month.
2020.
It was August 27th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
originally it was the 24th, but we couldn't get in, so I think it was rescheduled for the 27th. So, and I still don't have anything other than the agenda for that night. So I don't know what happened to it. But I don't have it in my notebook at all.
Okay, so that may not ever be something that can be retrieved.
It was a Zoom meeting. I don't know if they were recording then or not.
Well, Henry, I will send you a list of all of the things that I've requested. And maybe you could explain to her that we need these things in order to create the annual report, as well as to approve the minutes because they need to be approved, but you know, we have to recreate them. Also, July 20th, 2020, do we know what was going on with that one?
Okay, okay, hold on a minute, I'll see. So I have a notebook with pages that don't pull out that I was wearing. And I had March. And then I think we stopped altogether because of COVID for a while. And then the first one I have is 7/20 of 2020.
So you do have that.
Yes, and I have it crossed out, which means that I already did a draft on that. Maybe you have that. Do you have that? But I don't have, you were asking for a different date, weren't you, an earlier date?
No, well, I might have been, but that is one that I needed 8/28/2019, but we got that. That one we got. So
Okay.
the July 20th, 2020, I do not have.
Oh, but that's funny. Because yeah, when I cross them out, that means I've done them.
Can
20.
I couldn't find it anywhere in the email account.
Yes, I have. I thought I sent it to you because I have a final on that Historical Commission 7/20/20 final. And I think that was one of the flurry of emails that we're sending back and forth on minutes.
Could you send it again in case I
Sure.
can't
Yep.
look it?
All right, here's a bit of information that might help us figure this out. It says here there was an alternate meeting time for July. Now, is this? Oh, no, but that's this year. That's this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Janice, if you have that,
Yep,
that's.
I
just
do.
me.
Okay.
All right. So we need to clarify still about the August meeting.
Yeah, I have July and I have September and October of 2020, but I don't have any August.
All right. So, and then that would be great if, Henry, if you wanted to do some of these minutes, that would help. I'm kind of busy and I would really appreciate the help.
All right.
So do we want to go over the annual report or do we want to hold off until we get these minutes?
No, I'd say we hold off. I was reading it over. It looks fine to me. There's more material that you sent me.
When does this need to be approved?
I think it has to be submitted by the end of the year. So if we can get that's why I'm kind of pushing this. If we could get these minutes and then meet in December,
Mhm.
we could
Should
approve
be
it.
able to prove it then.
Do that.
Yeah.
One thing I'm a little concerned about the 2020 minutes is that we don't have a quorum to approve them
Ah, good point.
for the August. Janice, it sounds like you're saying that those July meetings were, the July 20th minutes were approved.
Yes, I wouldn't have finalized them without it. It was approved September 10th.
Okay. All right, so that was approved. If I get that, that would be good. But we won't be able to approve the August because,
Well, the people in July were Mary Lou, Karen, Chris, Henry, Craig, and I.
Mhm.
okay,
So we still have Mary Lou, Karen, Henry, and I.
okay.
If this is the same for August, I don't know, but that's the July one. So that's how,
Okay.
I'm just, and then Greg was a visitor at that point.
But if you only have three people, if, for example, if Karen wasn't at that meeting, and you only have three people from that group, then you wouldn't have a quorum to approve the minutes.
It looks like, I don't know if I have, I don't think the September 10th were ever finalized.
No, we did. I
did?
found that we did, yeah.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
think it was in April, we approved them. And
Okay.
I've submitted those.
okay, good, okay.
Those were taken care of. Oh
Great.
my God, it took a long time to get those approved. Let's
Okay.
not unapprove them.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, well, thanks. And so we have a plan with all this. That's great.
Yep.
Did I send everybody that letter that was received from MHC that we received
Yes,
recently?
you did send it, yes.
So that was interesting that they were requiring that the archaeological survey be for the whole property, all seven
All
properties.
properties, right, which is, makes sense.
Interesting. Hmm.
Because right now they're applying for archaeological permits for the Pelham and the Amherst projects. And they're saying they have to do the survey for the whole kit and caboodle.
Which seems pretty obvious because you've got to look at all the land to see what's on there.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, so that will either slow them down or push them to get done faster, sooner with the Shutesbury section. Has the conservation approved now all of the changes, not to Montague Road yet, right?
Right.
But the other ones have been approved and the ORADs have been issued for the other areas?
I feel like they have to resubmit the Pratt Corner West.
Oh, okay.
Don't they have
because-
to resubmit because of the quorum issue?
Oh, maybe that was the one. Okay. All right. So they're not quite fully ready to move forward on all of the projects yet anyway.
No.
Okay.
And they just saw the third party comments. Did I send those to you? Did you see those, Janice? The third party? comments
I
from-
think so. I think I saw them somewhere in here. I've been sort of buried, so I've been on and off into the
All right, well,
emails.
that's Concom business. I don't want
Yeah,
to wait.
okay,
We don't
yeah.
have to talk about it.
I know,
It leads into
other than just where does that leave the status for the solar projects for
Yeah.
historical review? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Okay,
so I don't know if that, maybe we should, Karen, this is kind of speaking to your question about what's going on around our efforts to preserve CSLs. And I don't know if you're following this about the MHC, but did you get a draft copy of that letter that was, I don't know if it was copied for Karen.
I don't recall it.
So the Massachusetts Historical Commission sent us a letter that was also sent to the solar developer And because in Amherst, they're trying to build a solar project and they applied for an archaeological permit as part of that proposal. And the state archaeologist said, if you're going to evaluate that one site, you've got to evaluate all of the proposed sites because there's a cumulative impact of so much development in one region. So they all have to be kind of linked to each other, which is means that AMP, the developer, has to do all these archaeological surveys that they weren't prepared to do.
Does that mean then that,
Like a holdup.
well, but does that mean that our agreement to have the TIPO from the Wampanoag walk the properties, is that then going to move forward?
I haven't talked with anybody. I don't know. It was moving forward in Pelham and in Amherst.
Huh.
Actually, no. Correct me, I'm wrong. Going forward in Pelham, it was not going forward in Amherst because Amherst doesn't have a solar bylaw and there was no requirement for a TIPO in Amherst. So AMP is contracted with the Wampanoag to evaluate the Pelham site.
Okay.
I just asked because it seems that this would move things along if they had to abide what the MHC just said. It would have to be doing that here as well as in Amherst or wherever.
Yeah.
Well, the MHC wasn't requiring that they consult with the TIPO.
They did. Oh, I see.
They were only requiring
An archaeological.
a
Archaeological survey.
do an archaeological survey.
I see. Yeah, of course.
And that all the plans be fully completed so that they can look at the full impact.
There you go.
And there are no official plans yet for Shutesbury, right? I mean, I don't think the planning board has gotten anything yet for the actual solar project. But I think that's what part of that letter said, was that they don't want just, draft or partial or proposed. They need to know what the likely impact areas are going to be and then get the reviews done on all of them.
What I think may be a part of that is that, and you may have noticed with the letters that it was ceasing the EPA official,
Mhm.
that they may be viewing EPA as being involved through section 106, but they
Ah.
can't weigh in unless they know what the exact design is and whether or not a NIPD's,
So
well,
they've been
the
done.
NIPD's permit would be required for all of them, but what if the Army Corps was going to be involved, then they need to know the specific design because some of these sites will require work in the wetland area that would require a permit from the Army Corps of Engineers, which would be another layer of consultation besides EPA. Those would be two separate things.
Mhm.
So I understand what happens in those cases, that one agency agrees to be the lead for the consultation rather than having two competing federal agencies.
Mhm.
But I was encouraged to see that they were
Yeah.
saying, EPA, that there was something, had some traction, maybe all those emails that I sent to EPA officials actually
Maybe.
caught somebody's eye or something. Like somebody's taking it seriously. It's really great.
Mhm.
After all those years of saying that section 106 was
Yes, right.
and people just staring and saying no.
Yeah.
Like back when the Wheeler track was being
Mhm.
real different times. So anyway,
So Karen, did that answer your question sort of about the status on those solar reviews?
On the
Oh,
CSS.
it's coming along, I guess. Did the town administrator swap plans with Cole?
Are they what?
Sorry, missed that.
It-
What is it?
Did she swap lands with the coal people?
There was a land swap with Coles, but that was not related to the solar project. The land swap had to do with it was something that was approved at town meeting, like in 2011 or something, and it was finally finished.
Because the logs are coming down, then the solar panels could probably go up.
Well, that's
Where?
for their
Where?
logging.
Where is that, Karen?
I don't know what land was swapped.
There was a small parcel of land down at the lake. And
Ah,
that I try to remember the details, and there was a parcel of land that the town owned near Town Hall, I think. And Coles wanted an easement onto the town land to get to a forest interior where they're doing logging. And so in exchange for the easement, they gave the town a couple of parcels of land down by the lake.
oh,
So I think that's what the swap was. Maybe I'm got it wrong, but that's the general picture. So it was something that was approved by town meeting a few years ago. And it's
I
just.
don't recall it at all, but that doesn't mean anything. I got
Yeah.
a thick head.
Well, I don't remember it, but I'm now been there and so that was explained at a select board meeting recently. But I don't know, it has nothing to do with solar.
huh. I've always
Oh,
gone
I
to
thought
town
it-
meeting.
I thought
What?
it was all interconnected there somewhere.
Well, it's Coles, so I guess it's connected to Coles, but this was something that happened years ago. This was approved years ago before these solar projects were proposed.
Hmm.
The only thing I can think of is Coles has land on West Pelham Road and some of that, but I think they already had the access there. Unless there was a house built on one of the pieces, sort of a skinny access and then it broadened and back. So it could be the back end of the library property. That's where the piece that we looked at ages ago was. So I don't know if that may
I
have
think
been
that may be
something.
where it is.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Um,
That's the closest I can remember of anything, because I went to town meeting every year.
yeah,
And that's the only thing I can sort of remember.
yeah, that'd be lot 032.
Yeah, behind it.
Yeah, so not really anything that is relevant for the
No.
solar. field.
Okay.
So looking,
Well, I wondered about it.
say what? Karen?
I just wondered about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think everybody's wondering about what the next steps might be, and I guess we should expect things to move along at some point. Yes?
Yep, I guess so.
So just changing the subject. We've talked a little bit about a scenic byways or scenic road bylaw.
Mhm.
And I have a draft of one.
Mhm.
And I just out of curiosity, I reached out to Jeff Lacy just to get a read from him about whether the planning board or he had any interest in this. And his response was that he didn't think it was worthwhile because he doesn't think that any of the roads in Shutesbury are especially scenic.
Oh,
And that really bothered me because I guess it's all in the eye of the beholder, but these dirt roads that we have, I find very scenic.
yeah.
And, they have old antique stone walls on them, and they mean a lot to me. So I feel like they're scenic, and so I don't know, it's kind of bothered me. But again, he's not the whole planning board. The way that these work, so just so you guys understand, there's a state law that protects scenic roads. There's a Scenic Roads Act that allows towns to designate particular roads as being scenic, and then the towns can kind of protect the right of ways. So that involves both stone walls and trees that are in the right of way. And a right of way is the 15-foot border of each side of the road that the town basically owns, even though it's looks like it's our property, it's not. And so the way that these bylaws work is that a town would pass the bylaw. They would designate roads to be called scenic roads, and those roads would be approved by town meeting. And then once the bylaw is approved, so that could all happen in one town meeting, the designation and the bylaw approval. Then anytime anybody wants to do any work in that right of way, if they're going to be damaging trees or stone walls, they have to get approval from the planning board. So it's basically an application process and a permit process that they would have to go through an application to the planning board. There'd be a public hearing. There might be conditions issued about what they could and couldn't do. If it was about a tree of a certain, over a certain size, the tree warden would weigh in as well. So that would be carving out a role for like Don Walkluck. But I mean, I would love to see this. I feel like, the stone walls are always, vulnerable to being torn down in the right of way.
And Janice, you've brought this up in the past,
Yes.
and I guess, is there any other rationale? I mean, Jeff Lacy is bringing up an aesthetic, it's an aesthetic judgment. It's just not very scenic, whatever that means.
Well,
Is there any other rationale for having this scenic byway designation?
Well, there's rationales for not doing it. I could imagine the arguments would be that this is going to jam up the highway department.
Unduly regulatory.
Unduly regulatory, create more paperwork, create more work for the planning board, a lot of headaches. That we have enough headaches. I could just imagine that the planning board might resist it, but maybe they would also embrace it. I mean, Jeff Lacy doesn't speak for everybody. And, again, it's kind of like people can still do things with stone walls, even with the bylaw. It just means that, if you're going to do, there's a certain amount of work, like more than two linear feet of stone wall, if you're going to be dismantling more than 2 linear feet, that you would need to get approval by the planning board.
I had done a bunch of research looking at different examples of scenic bylaws, and the one for Hopkinton allows for the recommendation of either the planning board, conservation commission, or the historical commission to request a designation of a scenic road at town meeting. So I think they're flexible. The towns can do things differently, and Hopkinton has a lot of stone groupings, ceremonial stone landscapes. So I was looking for them to see if they had something in particular about it. It doesn't get that close, other than it says that you can't remove stone walls. You can temporarily.
But they're in
move
Rhode
all
Island,
of them.
right? Or they are
Yes, I think that, I don't know, I think it's, let me see. It just says town of Hopkinton, so I thought that was Massachusetts, but maybe not. But there were some in Connecticut too that had variations on this.
yeah.
Town of Hopkinton. Yeah, so I can send a couple of those around and just,
Yeah.
you can take a look at it too, to see how they handle it in terms of the permitting process. It's all in their bylaw.
Yeah, I went through a bunch of bylaws from towns in Massachusetts because I figured those had already been approved by the AGO,
Uh-huh.
Attorney General's office. So, if there were any minutia of the wording that might be very specific to Massachusetts laws and regulations, that would be the place to start.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're all almost entirely the same language. The scenic roads bylaw, I think, has been promoted by Mass Historical Commission as well as, I think, DEP. So state agencies have really kind of
Mhm.
pushed this idea of having scenic byways. What Jeff was saying was that, in his opinion, a scenic road would be a road that has a vista or has beautiful antique buildings on
Oh,
antique.
give me a break.
I like
Well, that is a scenic road, a scenic
those are
byway.
scenic. Those are scenic, and
Yeah.
there are some areas in Shutesbury that have that. Other towns have more of that, but we're a different town. We're a more heavily, thickly forested town than we don't have a lot of open meadows that have been maintained in the way that they have been in some other towns. But we have stone walls. We have a
Mhm.
lot of stone walls.
So the Hopkinton is in Massachusetts,
It
and so is Upton. And Upton, under their fact sheet for scenic road bylaw, the purpose of the scenic road bylaw is to help the town maintain and enhance its rural small town character by ensuring that work done to trees and stone walls on the public right of way of scenic roads is done in a way that helps preserve the scenic, historic, and aesthetic characteristics of the public right of way. So I think it can be pretty broad in terms of, and again, I think most people in the open space plans, they say they like the rural character of the town. And to me, one of the chief ways of looking at the rural character of the town is driving up and down the dirt roads and seeing the stone walls and the trees.
I wonder if, I'm just thinking through as a devil's advocate, because,
Yeah.
you never know in Shutesbury what could be controversial, but I could imagine maybe there's some people who would feel like, no, I don't want this kind of regulation because I want to see like Montague Road paved.
Mm.
Well, that wouldn't keep it from being paved, would it?
No, but it would just mean that the town would have to go through this whole process because it would be widening the right of way.
Mhm.
But it's not saying no to any of those things, but then those would be conversations to have about where would you want to, are you going to preserve stone walls? If you widen the road, you can do that
Mhm.
and still preserve stone walls. Most of the stone walls are a little set back from the roads anyway. I'm in favor of this. I think that the folks on the open space committee would be in support of this. I think folks on the Concom would definitely be in support of this. So, but we're all troublemakers, right? I don't know how the planning board wants to make nice how they'll feel about it, but because most of these bylaws are written so that it's the planning board who does the permitting for it. We really do need to have planning board buy-in.
I think we ought to talk to Deacon or some of the others. It could be that Jeff is just concerned about his own frontage.
Well, he has a very scenic piece of property.
That's an antique home there.
He's got some beautiful stone walls.
Yeah.
Open pastures.
Yep,
Yeah.
but maybe he wants to be able to do something different with them.
Maybe, I don't know.
I can't imagine why else he wouldn't, why he would say that the roads aren't scenic in town. I mean, that's.
Yeah,
I just think it's just a judgment around this idea of vistas, and vistas means you've taken down trees, which isn't necessarily a good thing. So
yeah.
And there's no saying that Jeff might change his mind if there's a discussion around it.
Right, he could be.
I mean, he tends to make his mind up sort of on the spot, but maybe he would change.
Well, I can share with all of you guys the draft that I did.
Okay.
And I looked at the one in Upton, Janice. I didn't look at the one in Hopkinton because I thought that was Rhode Island, but I'll take a look at it. And, I kind of picked a little bit of the language from one or the other, consolidated them. I mean, there's There's a little bit of variation, but not a lot.
Mhm.
But I'll send it all to you.
Okay,
Maybe can we maybe review it at the next meeting?
sure.
Do we want to contact the planning board and ask them to consider to have a meeting with us?
Well, let's look it over first and talk
Yeah.
about it maybe, and
Sure.
then meet with the planning board.
It won't have a strategic approach here.
Well, just the other thing I was thinking about is that they're going to be having town meeting a little earlier this year. I think it may be in April or at the end of April,
Ah,
which means if you want to have a bylaw on the warrant, you got to kind of move the process along in January with a public, you have to get the signatures for a warrant and then the public hearing. So it would have to move along. Mhm. But I would love to see it.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's curious that the planning board was very much in favor of having in its among its requirements. Do you remember the whole question of the access roads to areas that access roads had to be paved, for instance, or this or that? There was that wasn't considered unduly regulatory at the time.
Mhm.
Do you remember that? There was a
Yeah.
of course,
It's
it's
in the-
access roads.
That was on the bylaw,
Yeah,
the solar bylaw.
yeah. So anyway.
Well, what they think is appropriate regulation for solar
Mhm.
could be very different than what they want to deal with everybody in the
For
town
zoning.
highway department.
Yeah.
Honestly, most of this involves the town highway department more than anything else, in my opinion.
So maybe convincing them, is there anything that we need to convince them about?
Who?
Highway department.
I don't know.
Or maybe ask for some opinions.
Yeah, such as maybe this doesn't really require any more work than they do anyway, or I don't know.
What it does.
Yeah, it
Now,
should.
What they do now is they just go in and destroy everything that they want to destroy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a stone wall on my property in the right of way, I'll say, and there's a wetland right next to it. And the highway department went in with heavy equipment and bulldozed the stone wall and drained the wetland. The wetland, by the way, was outside of the right of way. So they removed the stone wall for the sole purpose of draining the wetland on my property that was not
Wow.
in the right of way.
Mm,
Just because they didn't like the idea there was all that water there, they thought it was affecting the road. And they never talked to us.
well,
I just came out there one morning and found that they had done it the day before.
well, obviously a problem. I've heard stories like that in town.
Yeah, so we put the stones back.
Little
We
peeps.
rebuilt the stone wall. But
Yeah.
it was very upsetting. And they do stuff like this all the time and they don't want to consult because
Yeah.
asking nicely doesn't get anywhere, is my
no,
opinion.
doesn't.
We've asked nicely and got nowhere with it.
Hmm.
Anything related to snow removal? I know some people I know have complained about the things that the highway department does, on their property when it comes to snow removal, including their walls.
Yeah,
And, I mean, that's a tricky thing.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
well, yeah, I suppose that if you have this wall that's close to the road and they're plowing, it become an issue.
And then go out tomorrow and measure how far we are from the road, how our stone wall is from the road.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to know.
Well, yeah, so there will be some pushback from this bylaw. I would imagine, my experience has been that, the town hall dynamic is, don't make this harder for us. Don't make us do more hoops, more paperwork, more permitting than we want to do. So I don't think we'd get the support. I don't know, but I don't imagine we'd have Becky's support on this.
Highway Department reports directly to her.
They don't.
They don't.
Seems
They
like it.
actually, they report directly to the select board, which I found out a couple weeks ago because I was corrected by the town council at the town meeting last week, saying, don't go to the highway department, go to the select board if you need anything. So,
So do we have any other business?
Yeah, new business, anything?
well, where are we at with this? Are we going to reach out? We're going to have a meeting first and then consider reaching out to the planning board? Is that?
That's what I thought. was
It could be
coming.
good. Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you the draft.
Okay.
Anything else you want to talk about tonight? We're done. I move to adjourn the meeting.
Happily second it. Yeah.
All right, I think we're all in agreement. Say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Hooray.
I gotta fly to another meeting here.
Yeah.
Oh,
good
yes,
night.
that's right.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
PPT is on now. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Talk to you.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
When are we meeting next?
Good question. Guess it depends on what could happen in the next few weeks.
Oh, right. If we need something for CPC.
Well, theoretically, we were still on the books for,
First Monday in December.
what?
First Monday in December. Is that right?
Monday in September, which would be what,
In
September?
December. Yeah.
What day, what is that?
6.
It is.
December 6th.
Yep.
So shall we keep that meeting and then go over the bylaw stuff? And, yeah, so we'll go over the bylaw and annual report and whatever else.
Now I guess that's the first day of Hanukkah. Is that
Oh, is it?
on my little
Oh,
thing
no, I thought,
here? Oh, maybe it ends. It says ends at sundown. So is that the last?
yeah,
day?
it's the end of Hanukkah.
Oh, okay. All right. So
I
is that
thought-
still all right?
It was creeping up on me fast.
Yeah, sorry. I'm only half reading my
A little
calendar.
early. It's a little early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Everybody saying goodbye?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
yeah, we've had
Okay,
We're
what
done.
time on Monday?
next meeting will be on the 6th of December. I assume it'll be at 7. That's usually, that's where it, I think that was, look, I could confirm that. 1 second. Let me just see. I'm pretty sure that's on. Seven. It's at 7 p.m. And yeah, they don't have a link up yet for it, but there should be one up there soon. Did you
Last
get that?
time-
Yeah, did you get that, Karen? It's next meeting is Monday, December 6th at 7.
Okay. And when can they get it posted? Because there was another meeting they put off until it's due tonight.
I'm sorry. Which meeting are you talking about?
I'm talking about CPC, the
Oh yeah, well that's
community
Yeah.
Preservation Committee. I want to look in on that.
Well, it's tonight. That's
Yeah,
tonight.
it's tonight. Yeah, and they just posted it this afternoon.
I know. Yeah, I think Alan is having, a rough time scheduling there. But yeah, that's where I'm heading. So I'll see you at that meeting then.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye then.
okay, doke. I'll be in there in
Okay.
a little while. It's
All right.
for 7:30.
Well, it starts at 7, the meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, the CPC meeting is at 7.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Then I'll dial in a few minutes.
All righty.
All
Bye-bye
right.
now. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Everyone keep well.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ciao.